Okay, so we're live. I think as we answer the questions, we should think about a thesis and then the evidence and analysis, because that's what we scored on the debate. So,
Okay.
thesis.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is, how are Kant and Burke similar and or different?
I thought that out of the two, Kant's ideas were definitely more romantic than Burke's.
More like psychological. Like Burke's ideas are really straightforward. He wants everything
Yeah.
logical.
Yeah, his is more like what you see is what you get kind of thing. It's more of the biological, physical aspects, and not the like you said, the romantic side. So I feel like that was more of Burke's idea of what beauty is. It's the features of somebody, not necessarily what they do.
And
Yeah.
Burke,
I felt like Burke was more like yes or no, and his idea was that everybody's idea of what beauty was going to be identical. And kind of when I was comparing Burke and Kant, it seemed like Kant wanted to go a little bit deeper than Burke did, in the sense that he thought that everyone did have their own opinion. It wasn't an inborn identical understanding of what beauty was going to be.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from it too. Can you guys hear me? I like can't hear myself with these on. Okay. So that's kind of what I got from it too, was like he kind of believed that like the definition of beauty was universal and everybody was kind of like feeling similar things, like the same things made people feel love. Does that make sense? So and then Kant, on the other hand, was more like, everybody has their own kind of definition, like the cliche, almost kind of like beauty's in the eye of the beholder kind of thing.
I actually think that Kant, he wasn't trying. He was trying to separate delight and agreeability from beauty. Like what we find, first, of course, what is tasteful to us is if we see it, like we like it, even though it has no interest, even though we have no interest to it. That was his first part of his argument. And then, when we find something that's agreeable, we have taste in it, and then it agrees to our senses. So like it tastes good, it feels good, but not feeling in
Right.
like 55 cents. And then it'll bring you good, add something good to your life. So like comparing the plate of food, like when you first see it, you don't know what it is, but if you like it, you like the way it looks. Then if you have it shows it. That shows that when find out it's actually good for you, then it's something that. But what is beautiful.
Wait, you're kind of cutting in and out. Like I hear like maybe one word every sentence. Sorry, yeah. I don't know if like there's something with your mic or something.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I'll try to talk slower.
Oh, sorry. So, yeah.
And he says that what is beautiful is weak. So, like, let's say that what we have our own, but he has a similar idea to Burke. For everyone is what is beautiful. You know, does that make sense? Like, he's not just leaving it up to interpretation. He in the verse.
Betty, I'm so sorry. I literally can't hear anything.
Oh no!
I can't hear.
Yeah.
Okay. it's my computer.
Oh no.
Okay. Can you guys hear me
Yeah.
now?
Mhm.
Okay. So I think he's saying if everyone basically, can you hear me now?
A little bit. Just keep going because I don't know if it's like your internet.
Okay, maybe it's if everyone thinks it's beautiful, that can't. Can you hear me? Oh no!
I don't know what's going on your side.
I always hear like the very beginning of what you're saying, and then it just completely cuts out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let me try to work on this.
What kind of computer do you use?
I'm on a MacBook.
Mac. Okay. Because I was gonna say I could give you like next time we do this, I could give you this little microphone thing if you have like a way to plug in a USB port to your computer. Next time, if that would work. Because
Yeah. Was it fine earlier?
No, it was cutting out like a little bit every now and then, but I don't know if it's
How about now?
okay.
If it stays how you're talking right now, that will be perfect.
Okay, great. I turned up the sound.
Okay, there we go. Maybe like the mic sound. Maybe that's what was going on.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
a little bit.
So, I was saying that Kant's idea of beauty is like if everyone thinks it's beautiful, then it's beautiful.
Okay.
Which is kind of
Yep, got everything of that.
which is kind of similar to Burke's, except this. Sorry. Okay. Okay, continue. Babe, I'm on a live broadcast. This is
Okay, should we move to the next question?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What are some things that have changed in the ways we think about beauty between the 18th century and now?
Ooh, there's like a lot. At least through Burke's eyes, because he was talking about some of the things about like perfection. I think our ideas of perfection have changed just a little bit. Like, yes, beforehand everyone had to be like this slender, had this slender physique, but I feel like nowadays a little bit more people are like liking the curvy a little bit more. Like, yes, we still have that slender like appeal that most people want, but at the same time, sorry, did I just cut out?
No, you're good.
Okay. Everyone else was frozen for a second. But I feel like everyone's kind of moving a little bit towards the like having a more fuller complex. So I think in Burke's sense of having that physical mindset, it's changed a little bit as far as the kind of like having that perfect feature all the time.
So the physical standard.
Yeah, the physical standard I feel has changed, at least in Burke's statement.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you guys caught like Burke named like the 5 qualities that he thought like were like universally beautiful or something like that. And the first one was like size or quantity. So he said like things that are smaller tend to be more beautiful. Smoothness, gradual variation. So like we don't have a whole lot of like right angles or anything like that. And then like delicacy and fragility and grace. So to me, like those seem to be very like feminine qualities that they believed were beautiful. So they put a value on femininity. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, you just like cut out for, I don't know, on my end for a second there.
Okay, what did you hear?
I only caught femininity. That was like the end of what I caught.
I think
Okay. Well, I was
Like,
just
right
saying,
now, I
like,
just
what
cut out.
the qualities
happening?
that, I was just saying, like, listing off the qualities that Burke thought were beautiful, and they all have to do, like, with femininity. So they kind of put a value on femininity, but I think now we're moving into, like, oh, it's also beautiful to be a little bit more masculine, and there's, like, kind of a unigender beauty. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so.
Like
Yeah,
if you think
okay.
about, okay, like a great example, like Wonder Woman. If you think about Wonder Woman, she's not like your typical beautiful princess that
Right. Yeah.
it's like shy and quiet, but no, she's still beautiful in the sense that she's independent, she's powerful, but also I don't know, has great outfits. So like I think that's like a great example of like Burke's idea of the physical,
Yeah.
but also like masculinity that you were thinking of that is being portrayed a little bit more. Like women can be more independent, more masculine in a sense.
Right. Yeah. That's a perfect example. Thank you.
So obviously, people's views on women are different. As I was saying, I thought, okay, if this article was put today, like all these feminists would get on Burke for being so sexist. Obviously, women are more. Obviously, women are beautiful because they are more soft and delicate and submissive, and men are smarter. They have more dominating traits, which make them less beautiful. So he's saying like women who are helpless and stupider are more beautiful, and that's why they're more beautiful, which is ridiculous. But it makes sense to me from the Enlightenment perspective because in that time, um, these scientists and philosophers, like as we learned in history, they were actually trying to understand why things in nature are the way they are. For example, women are softer and a little bit weaker than men, and I don't really think that he meant it to be offensive, but he meant it to be like explanatory. Like I really love their outlook on religion during this time because they thought, okay, so God made everything for a reason, and it's our job to study nature and figure out why things are. So his approach makes sense because he's saying it's up to us to understand why women are more submissive. Like it makes them more beautiful. If you like elaborate on his idea, it kind of makes sense to understand the role of women in religion. Like we are the nurturers, we are the caretakers, we are the mother of the children, and that's why God made it that way. And so, if you think of it from an enlightenment perspective, it makes a lot of sense. Versus if a lot of people like you're dumb, that is so sexist. Like so. The attitudes towards women are definitely different, and the attitudes towards religion are also different.
Okay, so then what about Kant? Like how has Kant's view I guess changed? Is that one of the questions too?
Oh yeah, true. Some things that we have changed in the way
Are we still on the second question?
Yeah. So the second question was just like,
Did we move
how
on?
has beauty changed since the 1800s or something?
Okay.
Okay, so when I read that question, kind of similar to what you guys were saying about society's views, I feel like in the 18th century, like like people's idea of beauty was right or wrong, and that was on like a societal level. Like you were either right or you were wrong. Something was beautiful or it's not. And I feel like it was more of a rarity back then for something to be considered beautiful than it is today. Like I feel like in our society today, if you say that something's not beautiful, there will be thousands of people who can debate why something is beautiful. Even if it's some kind of an awful situation, society will debate that it was beautiful and it was a beautiful experience in some way, whether it was a learning opportunity or a growing experience. There will always be someone who will debate that something is beautiful, even 18th century would not have been, or even something that might have been considered taboo back then.
Awesome.
Yep.
Here's something
Okay.
with independent writers.
What was that?
What are some things you agree with these two writers?
Yeah, it's doing the exact same thing again.
Gosh.
The only thing I'm hearing is writers.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
So what do you agree with?
Yeah,
Is what
read
it's saying.
I feel that, again, I've only done the Burke part, but I feel like something that I agree with as far as people's idea of beauty is like that there is definitely some sort of physical aspect. Like, you know how when in Young Women, when you were listing the qualities of your future husband or whatever, you usually went straight to the physical aspects and not like the personality part. But then when you start dating, then you kind of like get over the physical aspect. So I kind of feel like still in people's mind throughout the centuries, like, yes, it has changed over time, but I still think people still have that idea that beauty is based on physical features. And it's like slowly moving away from that, but it's not as fast moving as within the centuries of the idea of what is beautiful as far as physically.
I agreed with Burke's, like, okay, so Burke was trying to quantify beauty. He's trying to like find a reasonable measure of beauty, which he used his 5 attributes to do so. But in the beginning, where he starts off, I think beauty is not just lust. It's not just perfection. It's not just, because if you measure beauty by all these standards, a lot of things that are considered not beautiful are beautiful, or a lot of things that are beautiful would be not beautiful, if that makes sense. Like, because if you measure things by like their utility or their usefulness, then a monkey should be like the most beautiful animal because these body parts are so useful. Like a human leg should be the most beautiful thing, which is like really weird. So I agreed when I was reading that, but yeah, I mean, if we're going to the next question, I don't agree that he should completely like just leave those things out when trying to determine beauty. Like, you can't just omit those factors just because they're not concrete, logical, or reasonable, like he thinks. So.
That's a good point.
Did you guys? Kant stuff is so hard to understand. Like, I'm like, do I agree? Do I disagree? Like,
right? It's something that you have to like read several times to really get.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so long. Yeah. I didn't get it at all, to be honest.
Oh, man. Okay, so just so you know, we're right now at 21, and I've taken some notes as far as like the things that we're discussing. So I can be the scribe from now on about like what we discussed. So that way, whoever is going to be the person writing the paper will look back at those notes and will kind of help to make that paper.
Did you guys disagree?
That's awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys disagree with anything?
What?
With what?
Am I cutting out again? Did you guys disagree with anything?
Did we disagree with anything? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I guess kind of I just I agree with what you disagreed about, Betty. Just how you said, like it seems like Burke's understanding of beauty is just so different from what it is today. It was just so yes or no for him that obviously I don't know how you could agree with that and survive in the 21st century.
But at least they tried. At least they tried to like.
Yeah, at least they were trying.
They tried to categorize beauty. Like, Kant tries to categorize delight or pleasure. Like, first there's interest, then there's like agreeability, there's like sensible, and then there's what's good to you, and then whatever is beautiful. So I don't agree that something beautiful is what everyone thinks it's beautiful. Like, it's so cheesy, but yeah, it is up to interpretation. But, let's see, what are we supposed to?
And I thought that was pretty cool that Kant was able to pull that out, because that was something really different from prior writers at his time, that he was able to recognize that beauty is different than agreeability or agreeableness.
And it says that it's like in response to Burke. So I guess he's like, when you read it, you should take into account what Burke thinks. And then he's just like expounding on those ideas, like kind of adding to them. Okay, what's the last question? What are some, can you guys hear me? What are some things / people in the media today that Burke would not think of as beautiful, that some people today might think of as beautiful? So like maybe he would be like shocked at Wonder Woman, you know, like what the, like she's wrong, she's
absolutely
mad. She's it's like, but she's beautiful. Like, I don't know, like she is kind of small, she is kind of graceful, so he would probably try to bring his scientific. But I think the Romantic era gave way to that abstractness of like Picasso's art. You know how it's like all angular. It's not. You can't really understand it. You don't know what to think or feel about it. But some people think it's beautiful, and that's why they think it's beautiful, because it's up to you. He would probably be like, no, it has no like grace. It's not even beautiful. But I think that's because it's not like natural. Like, again, the Enlightenment is so fond of nature, of logic, of what God put in. Like, as long as that God created it to be that way, and whatever God created.
Yeah.
Maybe we can kind of use that as like our stance. I don't know. What might society broadly in the 20th century think of the ideas of Burke and Kant? Oh, is that what we're supposed to talk about?
Is that what our paper needs to be about, or is it?
Use examples from today's media and quotes from Burke and Kant to help you write this response. It should be from a page and a half to 2 pages, double space. Oh, okay. So, okay. So I guess we could talk about today's idea of beauty, which you kind of put, like, you kind of said strong women. Everyone interprets beauty. There are more definitions of beauty than it's crazy, but even things that are scary or like are beautiful.
Wait, what? Sorry.
I said it's kind of crazy, but even things that are scary or gross or terrifying. Am I really quiet? Okay. I just realized everyone's like leaning into the screen. Okay. So like Even things that are scary or terrifying or gross are beautiful. It is. Like
That's actually true.
there's some really weird people out there,
Yeah.
and
True.
they're weird, but there's more than one of them, which means they share an idea of beauty together.
Mhm. So I
Yeah,
guess what could our thesis be?
So people in the 20th century will think that Burke and Kant are sexy. I don't know.
Um,
So we have to have a thesis.
Yeah, so the paper is graded by the thesis or central claim, and then the evidence and analysis to support it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think based off what we said is that people like if we were to kind of use your words to make the thesis, that people in the 21st century would think of it's more so Burke, like Burke's idea. I would say like people in the 21st century would think of Burke's idea as minimal because he only has like those 5 categories kind of thing. So it's like very like
Basic.
very narrow.
Yeah.
But and then we can use it as like, well, first he only has 5 categories, but there's more ideas of beauty, so that can be one evidence. Is that there's more like aspects to beauty.
And then he's also sexist. Like they would think he's narrow-minded.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So he only talks about the physical aspects.
Yeah.
Then Kant also says that whatever everyone thinks is beautiful, but that's not true. A person can think something is beautiful that no one else thinks is beautiful, like weird, serial killers or environment. You know, just all that. Anyways, I don't know.
And then like one more evidence is like the beauty of women.
Yeah.
Like how it's changed.
Okay, cool.
Okay, sweet. So we have our thesis, and then I have at least we have like 4 areas of evidence, and because it's like at least up to 2 pages, that will go by really quick.
yeah.
So who wants to write the paper?
I don't mind writing it.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and share that to you as far as the notes, and then you can just add all that. Just make a new document for the paper to turn it in.
Okay. Do you guys want me to share it with you?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can just leave it on because I'm going to share the whole folder. So if you just add another document, the whole folder is what everyone will see.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Anything else?
Yay, we did it.
Yeah, we did. We did our first group hangout, guys. Good job.
When do you guys want to set like a time where we do it every
week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should meet at least twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it still live?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wait, what's our time though?
Okay.
Hold on time.
Okay. Cool. So most of the assignments is like due on a Monday